It's the biggest match in tennis, and I'm not talking about JG versus Ben. This is Nadal versus Novak Djokovic on the clay court. The 60th meeting between them. Who will win?
That's right, it's the big one. Come on, the match that we were all hoping for has materialised at the Olympics on the courts of Roland Garros. And like you said in the intro, it is number 60. And they're not 60 years old yet, but they're pushing on a little bit close to 40. They're both carrying a little bit of an injury, but I'm guaranteed there's going to be fireworks in this match, and we're going to go through a preview of this, give our predictions at the end. But to start off, I mean, did you expect them both to get to this second round, JG?
Yes, I definitely expected them to be playing. If anything, I'm slightly disheartened and surprised in the nature in which Nadal beat Fucsovics today. I thought he was brilliant in the opening set, and then sets 2 and 3 was kind of what we've been seeing from him the last year or so. We've got to remember that tournament he did last week. I forget where it was now. In Sweden, wasn't
Bastard,
it?
yeah.
In Bastard. That was a good level of tennis we saw from Nadal in spells. He played incredibly well against Navone. I loved that match.
Yeah.
And was not quite there against Borges in the final. But he's turned a corner in terms of his serve is actually looking extremely good. It was brilliant against in the doubles with Alcaraz the other day. And we're seeing some good old Rafa moments, but it seems to just be moments, and that's all we can get. The big question is, are we going to see enough big moments from him and consistency against a Novak Djokovic to win, or is it going to be just enough to get deep in a set?
That is the big question indeed. We saw Djokovic. It's hard to really take much away from his first round match against Ebden. Ebden, normally a doubles player, was playing in the singles, only managed to win one game. Djokovic hasn't been tested at all, but he did look good, but you can't really say he looks good against anything, really. He could be playing against the wall and he probably would have had a tougher match.
Yeah, but Fucsovic isn't loads better. I mean, Fucsovic hasn't won a match for 3 months. He's not in great form. He looked very off balance in that opening set, but yet did quite well against Nadal. And look, you can see some of the form he's having coming into it. We know he's a top player of Martin Fucsovic and someone who can trouble players. In some of these sets are quite close as well. Taking a set off Berrettini, for example, at Wimbledon is no easy feat. So he's a lot tougher than Ebden, but still, the nature in the way that second set went, I was a little bit upset. I really was. And for him to lose in the way he did, he went down a break quite comfortably and just couldn't find the court, an hour long. But so much fight, and that's what you're going to get with Rafael Nadal. He is never over, and I think his sheer willpower to still be out on a tennis court, despite winning everything. You've got to remember, he's got 2 gold medals, Rafael Nadal. He has nothing to prove at the Olympics. He wants to be there for his country. You saw how much emotion he had the other day. Was it yesterday with Alcaraz when he won in the doubles? And let's just quickly touch on that. That was epic, by the way. That was one of the best doubles matches I've ever watched because I just love the passion of the both of them. Alcaraz, you can see, is so rusty in a double situation. He doesn't have much experience at all. But he was saying the energy of seeing all the flags around while he was playing, he absolutely loved it. And this is an iconic photo. We was talking about Rafael Nadal earlier with the cauldron? What's it called? The flame.
The flame, yeah.
He's holding the flame up. I prefer this photo. This is my new favourite of 2024.
I thought I've seen a few videos as well of that pre-match and see them warming up in the tunnel together, and then at one point they go into like perfect sync of doing the like bouncing side to side, which was very interesting. I just like the Vamoses.
You know when they was playing and Nadal's like doing fist bumps and running around the court, and Alcaraz is just there like vibing off. I think nobody can watch this and not get energy and enjoyment from it. It is so exciting.
Really is. I mean, look at them together. It's nearly just like a mirror image of a young Rafael Nadal next to himself almost. It's crazy to see these two on a tennis court playing doubles.
Well, you never know. They may enter the synchronized diving later on.
Imagine. That would be another sight for sore eyes. But I love the name as well. Is it Nadal Karaz? That's that one's going to stick forever. Are they favourites to go on and get the gold in the doubles? I think I'll put them right up there, to be honest. I think they have a good chance.
They played a really good pairing in,
Yeah.
was it Gonzalez Montani, number 6 seeds, but there's some tougher ones to come. And I know we had a comment come in, I don't know if I've got it right now, but it was regarding, I think it's the Croatian pairing. They've just teamed up together for this tournament, but they've got a lot of experience before. I don't know, I think they had a disagreement maybe, but they're back for the Olympics going together, and they're very highly decorated doubles players.
Yeah, I'll just try and find the comment. 1 second. Yeah, so there's the comment there at the top. It's saying, thanks for the rare doubles preview, lads. Mekic and Pavic are the defending champs.
That's it, yeah.
They stopped playing together last year, but they have reunited for the Olympics. Pavic is probably the most decorated males doubles player currently on tour, with 3 mixed and 4 men's doubles slams, including Roland Garros this year. So there's me saying Nadal Karaz could be favourites. I think that pairing pip them to the post, though, don't they?
Yeah, I think Bolelli Vavasori is another pairing I like.
Another really good one.
So yeah, let's wait and see what happens with that. But we're not here to talk about the doubles. Let's get back to Nadal versus Djokovic. The main thing is they got through the opening round. Djokovic's one was a lot more convincing, but then Ebden's not a great player. Nadal's, Fucsovic isn't amazing, but still it was a tougher match and it showed. So this is where we are now. And I don't know if you want to bring up the tweet, which just shows the longevity of the Big Three, because I really do like this. And that is the first Big Three match was March 28th, 2004. This is now the 150th and the most recent Big Three match, July 30th, 2024. So that is just over 20 years apart, which is 7,429 days. And you can see an image just there of that first match. It was between Nadal and Federer in Miami. And look where we are now. Incredible that they're still playing. Rafa's aged a little bit, but the longevity of the Big Three is incredible. And the fact that we're still getting to see a matchup between them. Let's be honest, this matchup, I don't think it's going to be the best match in the world. It's not going to be nowhere near the other ones. And I think what symbolises that is the fact that all the previous ones, when they usually play, is towards the end of a tournament. I mean, Big Three tennis tweeted out saying in a normal single elimination tournament, Djokovic and Nadal have never met before the quarterfinals, which kind of blew my mind. So you got 1 Davis Cup, insane. 3 World Tour Finals round robin matches, 6 quarter-final matches, 20 semi-finals, and 29 finals.
That's insane. Like, such crazy level, and how that just goes to show how long they've been at the top of the game, that you would only ever meet like right at the depths of tournaments. I mean, these two, they're just absolutely ridiculous GOAT like phenomenon in tennis. I think that you can't really look at them in any other manner. They're not normal human beings, either of these two. They're literally just on another level of tennis player, another level of human, the amount they've achieved in the sport. And I was worried we'd never see number 60. That was my one big thing. I thought maybe we're never going to get it with a rounded number of 60 matches, which I so wanted. We are getting it. Is it going to be competitive, like you said? Is it going to be the best match? Maybe not.
Well, competitive it may be. I didn't say it's not going to be competitive. I think it is going to be competitive.
It's hard to say.
You're not going to get a Big Three match which isn't competitive. I truly believe that. Are we going to see a high quality affair? No, I don't think so. It's not going to be one of them matches we look back on and think, what breed of tennis are these two playing? We're not going to see that. It's going to be very, very fascinating. And if anything, maybe one of the most fascinating meetings between the two of them. I think it's in a very special place. Being at Roland Garros, I think really does give Nadal a lot of impetus. But then he's got the fact that, let's be honest, Djokovic has been the better player recently. The last few years, Djokovic has really stolen the sun away from him. and been the main guy, the one at the top, winning loads of slams as well.
Yeah.
And we're in a scenario where it's going to be ultra competitive, a difficult one to call, but it's not going to be the top level of the sport, which is unique.
If you're going to play Djokovic at any time, though, Nadal, surely the main time you would play him is when he hasn't picked up any titles in a year. And that would be now. And if you have a look
at neither's Nadal.
Well, this is it. But, I mean, Nadal I'd probably forgive a little bit more for not having a title due to... I didn't even expect him really to come close. Djokovic, I thought that he would be closer on getting a title, not necessarily a slam, could be any title, that he's always competitive. But this year hasn't really been the same. He lost, like you see, on clay, he's lost a few this year. He's lost to Tabio, he's lost to Casper Ruud, he's lost to Thomas Mahatch. And this is a good sign if you are Rafael Nadal, because he's beatable on the clay, quite clearly. But what level is Djokovic going to bring? Because bear in mind, he just got to a final of a slam, just coming into this, even though he was a bit injured. And now he's going for the only thing, really, that he wants left in tennis. And that is a gold medal. So he is super focused. He's going to be super driven. I think if there's any pain in his body, he's not even going to care, and he's going to push through any agony to win this tennis match. And I think Nadal will be the same. I think this will be a hard-fought match with two players with hurting bodies that will push through so much pain to deliver a good tennis match. I think that's what we're going to get.
But do you think Nadal's going to be willing to push that much where it will... By pushing his body to the limit will clearly mean he's going to be out of the doubles as well. He'll jeopardise his chances there. Djokovic is only playing the singles. I'm not sure if Nadal's going to put as much as you're saying into this. It's going to be ultra competitive. He's going to want to win. If he's not feeling quite right, I think you're just going to see him sort of wilter out like he has done in matches. And it's going to be one of them matches where he's not quite running for just allowing and waiting for the inevitable to happen. And that will be a really sad state of affairs if that is to play out like that. But I believe in Rafa. I think he's got the level and he's been playing some good stuff. Djokovic, I think, is going to be a little bit nervous considering the fact that it's the Olympics. And I feel for him, it is something which was missing from his catalogue of wins. He's won everything else. He's only got a bronze medal to show at the Olympics and he's going to want to win it. If you bring up Gil Gross's tweet, I think that is, in a nutshell, what I've been saying. And I was really pleased that he tweeted it out because it makes a lot of sense and he always articulates everything so well in a condensed manner. He said, I don't think you could create better conditions for a competitive 60th edition of Nadal Djokovic. It does feel like it's been created in this way to be perfect, and that is because Novak's generally been better. Rafa needs the help. He gets it with Saturday conditions, best of 3 early rounds to soften physicality and Olympic pressure on Djokovic. So there's some big factors there which is going to really help Rafael Nadal, but Djokovic has been the better player. So for me that evens it out. The bookmakers, you'll be interested to know, have Rafael Nadal at 4s, Djokovic 1.25.
It's crazy, isn't it? I know.
On a clay court in Saturday.
I didn't expect it to be so lopsided, if I'm perfectly honest. I thought it might be like a 1.5. Is that a bit too generous?
Probably. I think it's fair. I can understand why they've gone with that.
But I still think that, I know that, to go back to what we were saying just a second ago, when you're saying he probably will want to salvage part of his body to keep going in the doubles with Alcaraz, I feel that when he gets on a tennis court and he sees that face down the other end, there's going to be something that takes over in his mind where he just can't give up and can't give Djokovic anything to go off and can't give him a celebration. Any chance that he could get close to this gold medal is going to pain Rafael Nadal into the core of his body. So I think he's going to be trying everything under the sun to be able to get Djokovic out of there. Even if he doesn't win the gold himself, he's going to try and stop Djokovic winning it.
I know what you mean, but at the end of the day, if Djokovic does play a good level and Nadal's physically not there, it's only going to go one way, and that's Djokovic beating him comfortably.
For me, it's the movement is the key thing in this matchup. Movement
I've
is
liked
key.
his serving. I've liked his serving at the Olympics. I thought it was really good in the doubles the other day. He showed Alcaraz how to do it. And let's just see what goes on, man. I'm going to give my prediction very soon. Let us know in the comments section if you are just watching. Who do you think is going to win this match? Do you see it closer than what the bookmakers have it? They've got Djokovic as a very big favourite to win this one. Does it help Djokovic if it goes 3 sets? Does it help him? I think it helps Nadal. Another factor which Gil didn't mention, being an early round. I think that's better for Nadal than it is Djokovic. He's had 3 days rest, Djokovic. He's not got the rhythm maybe going. He's just had 1 match on clay. You've got to remember, Nadal's played a tournament on clay before this. He's back on his favourite court, playing on the singles. There's a lot of factors which help him. And I am very confident that if this was a final and Nadal had got all the way to the final and Djokovic had got all the way to the final, I think it would be maybe more edged towards Djokovic because he's playing at a good level. Obviously, Nadal would have been as well, but I think he's got more chances to win earlier.
How much do you reckon, this is a question for you, how much do you reckon we can look into the Fucsovics match as a basis of how Rafa will play against Djokovic? Do you reckon that it just all goes out the window, the form book from that match? Or do you reckon Djokovic will be looking at that going, I know what I'm going to do to you. I've just watched you in that match against Martin.
Yeah, I think he will look at it. I think he will look at that match and try and find a strategy. But I don't think you don't need to do so much at the moment because Nadal has very poor moments in matches at the moment. There's like lack of consistency, unforced errors into the net, long. Doesn't seem to be able to find the court movement. Looks hampered and slow, and it's not all good. It's not all sunshine and roses with him in a match. But when it is clicking, you do see the shades of the old Rafa. And if we see long enough spells of that, and Djokovic is not at his best, or maybe not serving so well, there's no reason why Nadal doesn't win this match.
He definitely has a chance. These are the things that have happened since the last Nadal-Djokovic match. And there's the list of them here. You can see them on the screen. We'll read it out for the audio listeners. Federer retired. Alcaraz won 4 slams. Sinner won his first slam. Djokovic won 4 slams as well.
Yeah, I mean, a lot's happened. The whole tennis landscape's changed since they last played. And this one's happening in very different conditions, like I keep saying. It feels like the last one. I know we had a little bit of a argument, as per se, before we started this, where you're saying, how do you know it's going to be the last match?
Yeah.
They could play at other times because Nadal's ranking. This is the last match. This is the last match for me. I don't think they're going to play again.
I think we see them.
Their days are so numbered, man. I mean, the chances of them playing again would have to be in the early stage of maybe the US Open or something. But it's just very unlikely. There's no certainty Nadal's going to even play the US Open. So it's like
a warm-up tournament, you might still see it. That there still could be a tournament that they both enter into together. And Nadal will be down the rankings again and then may face him in an early round again. I don't think we'll see them deep.
You're not looking at the calendar very well. We're running out of time. We are running out of time. Nadal would prioritise the clay courts.
Yeah, I think it could be on clay next year. Maybe at a warm-up event leading up to Roland Garros next year.
Listen, you're very hopeful. I don't know how much longer he's got, to be fair, playing.
I think he'll be at Roland Garros next year, Nadal. He didn't have his sending-off party, so he said, I feel all right. So if he hadn't faced Zverev in the first round, he may have gone a bit deeper in that Roland Garros tournament. We don't know. It's one of those. It's made it a very interesting landscape now for Rafael Nadal because he was hopeful, and that was what gave all of his fans a bit more hope looking towards next year. Like, if he can have in his own mind that he feels good, that's good enough for us. Keep going. And I think that if he does that, he's going to want at least one warm-up tournament. So there's always the potential. Djokovic always plays some on the lead up to Roland Garros. Maybe a Monte Carlo second round. Djokovic Nadal. Heard it here first.
Well, I'm not sure if we're going to get it, but let us know in the comment section. Do you think they're going to play again? It will be a shame for all the numbers as well because it's all at the moment in line. 150th meeting between the big three, the 60th between them. We don't want 151 or 61. It messes all the numbers up and the rhythm. What's this one? So Paris 2006, 20-year-old Rafael Nadal faces 19-year-old Djokovic for the very first time. Paris 2024, back in the same city, 38-year-old Nadal faces 37-year-old Djokovic for a 60th time. Timeless. And it is truly one of the best matches and the rivalries in sport, not just tennis. I mean, we're all going to look back on these moments very fondly, and that's why it's one of these matches you just have to watch. And hopefully the coverage is not going to be too difficult, because I found it really difficult to watch some of the Olympics so far.
Yep.
Specifically the tennis. They don't seem to be making it that easily and easy to watch and accessible for viewers. But surely they make this one on primetime BBC or something.
I hope so. I really hope so, because it's a match no one wants to miss. I would have thought that this will be pushed right up to the top of the schedule. It's like a slam, final.
It's got to be the biggest moment in the Olympics so far. And I don't want to diminish any other sports, but what these two have achieved in their respective sports is nothing short of absolutely amazing. And you're just going to have to watch it. Make sure you join us for it. Hopefully we'll be doing a live stream, depending on work, of course. And the head-to-head currently, as it stands, Djokovic 30, Nadal 29. So are we going to get it fully even, 30 and 30? Rafael Nadal to defeat Novak Djokovic. Another thing to mention is it is also a head-to-head match between myself and Ben. I did joke around on the intro saying that we're a big match when we play. But we are going to be head-to-head as fans this time, because I'm a big Rafa fan. Ben likes Djokovic and keeps telling me how great he is and everything he does is amazing. Let's see who wins, Ben.
Well, I think that we should get to our prediction of the match now. I think we teed it up nicely. Let us know your predictions in the comments section below. Here we go. Who wants to start off first? I know that you gave me a bit of stick for my storytelling. There was a lot of people jumping into the comments saying we love the storytelling, so I will continue with my storytelling, but it's up to you if you want to tell a story.
No, I'm not going to tell too long of one, but I'll let you. You can do whatever you want to do, Ben.
Right, I'll let you go first anyway.
Okay, I will go first. So the way I see this one going is it's not going to be a really high quality affair of great tennis. I think Djokovic will be more nervous of the two. I think Nadal will start very strong and fade. And based off that, we're going to get a 3-set match with Nadal winning the first one, 6-3. Djokovic winning the second, 6-2. Some would say a bit of a women's match. I mean, it's going to be a bit topsy-turvy. Into the third set, this is where I'm a bit confused. I don't know how it's going to play, but what Rafa's shown is so much fight and desire to be out there, to be winning it. He's going to have Carlos Alcaraz in his box cheering him on. We're going to have baby Rafa there with a new haircut and maybe another little racket waving around. And I'm confident that somehow Rafael Nadal will be able to beat Novak Djokovic in 3 sets, and the third set's going to be 7-5.
Wow, just like that. Rafael Nadal, he goes through into the third round. Well, time for my one. I'm not going to be going for the same as you, as I'm sure everybody at home is aware. I'm not even seeing this as being as competitive
Even part
as what
of
you
you,
say.
Ben, would you not want Nadal to win?
There's part of me that wants it
for the story. You like a story, don't you?
I like the story of Novak Djokovic getting the final thing in his trophy cabinet, and that is that gold medal, and he needs to get past Nadal to get it. I'm going hard on this one. I think watching them both play their first round matches, despite who they've played, I think I've seen Nadal struggle far too many times against average opposition in the past few months. Novak Djokovic is not average opposition. He's just been to a slam final.
Has he not struggled against average opposition this year?
Yeah, but recently he hasn't. And I think this means so much to him that I think the movement is going to be the key thing for Novak Djokovic in this match. And I think it's going to be too much for Rafa. If he can't find his forehand winners, then I think he's going to be in trouble. And I think that Djokovic is going to do him in straight sets. And I think it's just going to be 1 break per set.
So 4-4.
Could be a 3 and a 4.
Or a 5 and a 4.
Or a 1 and a 2. I don't know. Or maybe the same as Ebden.
Come on, give us the score. Give us a score prediction.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a 3 and a 4. If he serves first in the first set, 3 and a 4.
Oh, that's just disgusting. I hate that. But yeah, I can understand what you're saying. It is something which is possible, but let's not be under any kind of illusion that Djokovic has been great this year. He has struggled against very average opposition and not looked nowhere near the level we know he can play at. So I think that makes for a very exciting, competitive match. But of course, let us know, guys, in the comments section. That is our preview, and hopefully you can join us for the match live. We'll be doing some reaction afterwards. And you'll see me if Nadal wins. Of course, if Nadal is to lose, I'll go and hide in for approximately 3 months and you won't see me at all. So you'll be left with just Ben. So some people will be very pleased by that, I'm sure.
Well, if Djokovic wins, you'll definitely be seeing more of me, and I'll be cheering him all the way through, hopefully, for a gold medal. Come on.
You know what to do, guys. Make sure, not just like the video, withdraw all of your money from every bank account, head to the local bookmaker, stick it on Rafael Nadal, and you'll be rich, because he is winning, and he's winning against Novak Djokovic. He's going to beat him, and he's going to level it up to 30 all. Come on, let's go, Rafa. Vamos!